All right, I am at Solo Records here in Royal Oak area of Detroit, a suburb of North Detroit. They just redid their store, I guess. I haven't been in there since they've redone it, so let's go see what's going on in Solo Records.
The other guys when I was younger. They were running down. You know what they say about people who listen to them. Now what the character I did was lame. He drove the kids and listened to the whole river thing. It was Mark Wahlberg. Or no, sorry. Yeah, I like that one.
How's it going? Good. Okay, so we ended up going to dinner before this, and I drove past, I saw your food store, and I went, no. And then I went on your Facebook page, I'm like, no. I was like, okay.
That's all right. You're not alone.
No, not again.
And welcome to a midweek. Begin with Solo Records. It's a shop. It's been around a long time. I mean, ever since, I've been in the Michigan market for 16 years. And as long as I can remember, Solo Records has been down in the northern suburbs of Detroit in Royal Oak along Woodward Avenue, which is like the main thoroughfare. There was I think a couple ladies used to own it. They finally sold it, and the people that bought it just moved. They didn't move that far away from where it had been, but just got a newer building, updated it, made it look fresh. So it was exciting to see Solo Records now with a new look. On Record Store Day, this was always a store that I enjoyed to go to. They'd always have, especially they'd be into the world music, bigger into jazz. Prices are pretty good in there. Like any, some you go, wow, that's kind of high. Others go, wow, this is a good deal. And I did find, a couple things that I picked up. One of them's here that I will show. So Hope you enjoyed it. And, you know, maybe as I was flipping, you saw some stuff and you go, well, why the hell didn't you pick that up? That's usually the case with most of these. Everyone, you didn't pick that up? What's wrong with you? But, so now I'm going to show you some records I used to have pre-flood, but now I've been able to get back in. And some of this is, you know, yeah, no, for the most part, they're ones that are pretty good. I'm very happy to have. Once in a while, though, I scratch my head. And we're just going to begin with, I just brought this in. Neferati, I'm sorry, the glare on there is not good, from Miles Davis. There's my original. I haven't even opened the MoFi up, as I do have an original right here. And so, you know, yeah, eventually I will, but I'm in no hurry because I can play it anytime I want. But as I've mentioned before, when it comes to MoFi, Miles Davis, I'm probably going to buy it because I love his music. But this came out in 1967. This was the last acoustic album he did. And then he brought in electrification. Now his other ones, there'll still be some acoustic the next couple of albums, but more was electrified, especially the piano, the bass. Great album, you know, again, 67. It was, you know, the second great quintet, and just incredibly good music, but it's Miles Davis. I'm always going to be happy when I hear from him. So I was happy this was just reissued on from MoFi, Mobile Fidelity. They also had just reissued Bitches Brew. I used to have a MoFi Bitches Brew, and when I look at the price of that, it was the one Miles Davis I didn't get saved. I don't know why. It got lost within within the damage downstairs, but they brought it back, and I have probably 3 other copies of Bitches Brew, and I don't normally get more than one copy of any album. But again, Miles Davis, and Bitches Brew is top 10 album. You know, Kind of Blues always been my favorite Miles Davis, but boy, this thing's right with it. It's hard for me some days to say. I play it all the time, especially in my vehicle as I drive and travel around the state, but wonderful to have that back in MoFi. The other one, and this is one I bought there, and we have Big Fun. There's my original Big Fun. And I did find this, and look at that. I even have here, there's cards. There's solo records. So for those of you, especially in the Michigan market, you could see solo records, and we'll just put that up. Look at that. Now you have both. Okay. And so you saw that one in the bins. Big Fun. Big Fun was music recorded from 69 to 72. So it's just different things. It didn't make it on Bitches Brew or other things, but still it was that great funk fusion that was going on within what Davis was creating in his group within the studio. So, you know, yeah, it's a cutout, but I just haven't seen it. And when it was there, I get an album I truly love because it is Bitches Brew Part 2. Just items songs that didn't make it into Bitches Brew, but still great. The artwork is phenomenal, and yes, we once again show nudity. I was happy to find I had this is a great Pink Floyd album, and you know it's a live album and it's a studio album. Now the one that I used to have, and I haven't been able to get this one yet, right here, they have the album Gigi. And the original ones had Gigi. Then, you know, there was trouble, lawsuits, crap like that, and they had to pull it off, so they made it blank. Now, I don't know, maybe the newer ones now show it. It might be back on there. But, you know, here we have Floyd in transition. It's Uma Guma, and is the name of the album. Uma Guma, fun to say. Barrett was now out, and so we have on here Astronomy Domain, which is actually was done by Barrett. And then Careful with That Axe, Eugene was the other song that is on this album. Side 2, Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun, Saucer Full of Secrets. Just wonderful stuff. So you have one Barrett song. This was done in 1969, and that's actually the live music. Side 3, we have Sisyphus. It's from Richard Wright, part 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we go Narrow Way and the Grand Visor's Garden Party. So they're doing some kind of odd things. I'm surprised, Pink Floyd. And to me, they're experimenting, trying to figure out what's going on. Kind of an in transition thing. But the live part of this album is very good. And it's really enjoyable to listen to this. Especially, side 1 with, Astronomy Domain and Careful with That Axe, Eugene. Really good stuff. So happy to bring that in. That's one I will, if I find an original GG cover, I would get that. For those that want a little metal, and once in a while, yes I do, was finally able to get a copy of that. And of course, Judas Priest, British Steel. Great album. Don't have an inner sleeve on it. Oh well, that's the way it goes. But Breaking the Law, and Living After Midnight. I don't need a lot of Judas Priest. Screaming for Vengeance and this. Obviously, it's the popular ones. But if you're not heavily into metal, that's kind of what you want. I want those songs. And that's what I like to crank up on my stereo system. As time goes, maybe you buy more if you got room. But these I do need to have, and nice to see the leather. Here was one. I bought this when it originally came out. And my records are all going to slip here and fall down. I can see that already. I'm just going to screw it. Rick James. And I showed this on my, was in 1981, I believe I did. But, it was nice to find this Street Songs. When this came out, it just blew me away. I was working in more of a ghetto type area, a Kresge store there as an assistant manager right out of college, and this was huge on the radio in Kansas City, just big time. Again, no inner sleeve on there, and Gordy music, and we can't get her in. Great music, just funk music. I never bought a lot of Rick James. I maybe had one or two, and it always came down to this one. This is the one that I would play. In the other albums, there were some good songs, but I love this one, and still to this day. And I mean, gosh darn, who? Not many guys can rock that. But look at him go. Here was an interesting one. This is one of those question marks, but there is a reason for it that I picked up. There we go. Wang Chung, yeah. What collection does not have Wang Chung? Has Dance Hall Days. Love Dance Hall Days. Always love Dance Hall Days. Right to this day, I like Dance Hall Days. Now, is the rest of the album really incredible? It's not bad. I don't mind it. I like Dance Hall Days better than Let's Wang Chung Tonight because I never quite understood what is Wang Chunging. You would go out and, you'd go up to someone and goes, hey, you want a Wang Chung? No one seemed to really know what do you do if you're going to Wang Chung tonight? So there is no Wang Chung Tonight just because I couldn't figure it out. But Dance Hall Days was a beautiful song. This is really interesting. So on the back, it says, To the Man with No Name. And there's two autographs. And it's autographs by two of the members. Nick Feldman is one, and Jack Hughes is the other one. These two. So I don't know. Are they real? Are they not real? Who knows? But they're on there. So that was fun. Just fun. I want to say it's really him. And To the Man with No Name, That could very well be me. It could be you. It could be anybody. I mean, that's the way to go. Now it's not really personalized because now it could be any of us. So Dance Hall Days, just one of those guilty pleasure albums. A guilty pleasure song, but yet you don't feel guilty about it whatsoever. Here I've had, now, so I'm just going to show it. Parliament, I've talked about this. I've shown it. I had 2 copies. I didn't know I thought I only had 1, but I had 2. But this is what's cool. I just got this. I now have the book. And that makes it all the better. I did not have this. And it came in, as you would get this, at Radio Wasteland. I'm very excited about that. Parliament was great with the cartoons and stuff, and it really helped you along to understand, what funk is all about and what you need to do. So wonderful to have that part of the album. And it's it's not, there's no inner sleeve to say, but it's that comic. That comic's super cool. Then we have. We'll get these 2 out. As always, I probably should take these out of the plastic sleeve before we come and turn on the camera. But, I'm consistent. I consistently don't do it. But we have 2 from the Motels. And these are the 2 from the Motels that I really need. I mean, their first one was much more new wave. On these, they got slicker. But they really sound great. It's just really, really good sounding. Martha Davis is the vocalist, and she's just beautiful. This one came out in 82, I believe. This one came out in 83. This had on here Only the Lonely. Absolutely amazingly beautiful song. This had on here Suddenly Last Summer. Those 2 songs are just, when you think of the 80s, incredibly good songs. They're slick, they're produced nicely, but the whole album is really good. I really like the music from the Motels, but I don't need all of the Motels. I did want these. They're inexpensive as all get out to find, and so very happy to finally get them and put them back into the collection on there. Really nice. And then there's sometimes you buy something and you go, am I an idiot? Now, I spent $250 on it, and it was probably $250 too much, quite honestly. Silver Connection saved me. This had, and I had the 45 back when I was a kid. Fly, Robin, fly. Fly, Robin, fly, up to the sky. And amazing disco song, and one of those disco songs that are just one of the very best. The thing is, most of the rest of the album I personally think is crap, and just download the stinking Fly Robin Fly and forget about the rest. Hey, I heard the hit song, but the rest of it I could care less about. It didn't cost much, but still, stupidity. Sometimes, that's where we, where that memories come in. Oh my God, that was such a good song. Oh my God, that's that price. And we buy it, and then we go, really, did I have to have it? And did I just blow some money? But then you can look at any of the albums and say, I think you just blew some money, bud. Why'd you get that? So, hey, it's the way it is. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the record store tour. I have more on the phone that I have to, Lord knows, some are from last year. It just takes a while to get to them. So thank you for dropping by, and pop on in Sunday. Don't forget our podcast on Podbean with me and Jim Gleason from Radio Wasteland, and there will be a link below. Please check it out. This last week we did talk about CD's 40th anniversary and the power of vinyl. Thank you. Everyone have a good day. Bye.